I see a kind of jubilation that Bovin was removed, right? That Tom Homan was put in his place, and now we've won, and so on. And now he won't be running ICE. This man under whom, in just 1 week, two US citizens, a man and a woman, died. Friends, if you don't have legal status in the US, this celebration is premature. Tom Homan, you remember, he was called, sort of, the border czar. This is the man who advocates for deportation even more than, well, if not more, than at least as much as Trump did. Why did this happen? Because, in theory, under every administration, whenever there was a standoff between ICE and non-ICE, people died. Every single time. Right now, there's a video going around with a caption, "Remember?" saying that under Obama, 56 people died in confrontations with ICE. Yes, but do you understand the situation? They were all here illegally. And that's something Americans could forgive. Well, because it was illegal. Yes, there are Americans who support open borders and all that. But still, you see, when someone is here illegally, it's just not the same as being a citizen. But here, what's happening now? What's happening is that basically two people are being killed at once. One of them is a citizen and also a nurse at the Veterans Affairs Office under the Department of Defense and so on, a patriot of the country and all that kind of thing. The other is a mother of three, a single mom. And the elections are just around the corner. It's the end of January and the elections are in November. Time is flying by like the wind, and especially when it's an election year, we've got elections coming up. And already, Republicans have started turning away from Trump in this situation. He understands all of this perfectly well, so these reappointments have nothing to do with those who don't have status. They're connected only to those who can vote, explicitly. In other words, Trump doesn't want any unpleasant surprises. In November, and for him to lose control of the Senate. Anyway, I don't need to explain this to you. So this excitement is premature. And, I'll repeat, it's only because, well, the sacred cow got poked. I often like to talk about the sacred cow, you know, the sacred animal, whether it's there or not. You see, it's like you can't touch Americans, right? But as for illegals, well, who even remembers them? Now, try to recall. 56 people died back then. During Obama's time, let me repeat, during this standoff with ICE, for example, suicides and other incidents often involve detainees. Do you remember any of their names? Of course not. Even the human rights activists who spoke up for them will forget. But the names Gut and Pretty will linger in the minds and hearts of Americans long, and they'll be raised on flags and shields when the election campaign begins. So friends, take care of yourselves. If you don't have status, take care of yourselves, because again, these changes that are happening, they're not because of you, not for you, and not for voters. A long way until you can vote. Lots of life ahead. Good luck and goodbye.